Good morning. This is Saturday, May 23rd. I'm in the awkward position of having to back up and redo something that to me is important that I did on the 21st of May. Put it on, I thought, where it was going to be right there on the video on YouTube, and somehow it didn't go through. So I'm going to redo it, even though it's, I'm talking as if I wrote it out. I already have it. I'm going to do it as I was thinking of it and doing it on the 21st of May, even though this is the 23rd. Woke up the morning of the 21st. Terrible night. Restless. Didn't get a good night's sleep. Got up late. Turned on CNN, and there was the President of the United States, Obama, talking away, talking and talking. And as I watched, I was impressed. As I listened, I was wowed. I was made more aware than I'd ever been before that this man, this president, is a lawyer. Well, not only a lawyer, but a lawyer who is a student, a real student of the law, a real practitioner of the law, and is a person committed to the highest defense of the principles of law as part of the way we are governed, and dedicated to the tenets of our precious Constitution. At the same time, it struck me as kind of odd that here I am so pleased that we have a lawyer president, and I'm so aware of how I and millions of Americans have been enjoying putting down lawyers with all those jokes. You know the ones. That lawyers are leeches, they're sharks, they're ambulance chasers, they're the reason that the sanity has gone out of the American government. In their greediness, they warp justice. Well, even worse, I've probably said it on previous videos. It's deep in my self-awareness that I don't really think it's a good thing that we've elected over the years, over the many years, so many lawyers to be congressmen and senators. In fact, that's my opinion, that the bad side of the lawyer profession has come out there, and that as they've worked with other lawyers representing special interests, they have put all sorts of loopholes and so on into the law where they can legally steal people's retirements, even their Social Security. No, I reckon the Social Security. I keep talking about Social Security going broke. If the money had been left in there, it was paid in over the years by the working people, that fund would be so great that they could put all sorts of fringes on for the old folks instead of talking about it's going to all run out here very shortly. But there's another side of me that knows from personal experience that lawyers are very decent people. I suppose that I first became aware of that as superintendent at Elkhart, Kansas, when they were the first board that had a lawyer on retainer, Shelley Grable. Shelley was a fun guy, had a great sense of humor, wasn't all puffed up with self-importance, and he gave you the straight story on about whatever, gave you good legal advice and a lot of common sense advice about what's really going on in the community and what you're dealing with as the new superintendent. And then we had a daughter die unattended in a Yuma hospital. We got a good lawyer, and eventually he said they have covered their tail, about said it the other way, with the way they did the autopsy and so on, and if we pursue it, it'll go on and on and on, and in the end, it isn't going to be worth it. Hey, I don't like that a hospital can get away with letting your daughter die, never seen by a physician on the day she's dying, in the hospital where she'd worked. But you get good advice from a lawyer, you follow it, so you drop it. Then a little later, had a dismissal pushed out at Springfield, Colorado that wasn't really done right. The board didn't behave itself. Now, some of them did, some of them didn't. My wife insisted that, you need a lawyer, so she called the top lawyer organization in Colorado, got the name of an attorney that dealt with such matters, John Hayes. And John Hayes and his assistant worked and worked and worked with the facts, getting their case together. In the meantime, finally gave up on being a school administrator, went back to Arizona, was teaching and coaching out at Gadsden. Telephone rings one morning. It's John Hayes. John said, the last 2 or 3 cases that have gone to the appellate courts in Colorado have gone the wrong way, and he said, I think you might as well take the settlement that he had earlier, when it was offered, said, don't even consider taking it. He said, I think you better take it. Well, John, you're the one that knows. If that's what you say, fine. So then in my mind, I'm thinking, my Lord, the hours that man and his assistant have put in, I owe him way more money than that settlement. So I'm saying, well, John, where are we in settling up? Well, he said, you remember I told you there's creative ways to use settlement money. He said, I'm going to work that where you and your wife will have another year of retirement in Colorado as part of the settlement. I said, John, you can't do that. There isn't that much money. He said, I'm not going to take a penny. I said, John, you can't do that. He said, listen, my boy will still go to Harvard. I'll still have my huge boat and use it as much as I want to. I do not need any more money, and that's that. And that's a lawyer. John Hayes, Denver, Colorado. Well, so on balance, I'm very aware that, we've got lawyers that are not good people, just like we've got teachers and school principals and superintendents that aren't good people. But we've got lawyers that are great people, and by golly, I think we've got a lawyer president and a lawyer president's wife that's going to do an awful lot of good for the good old United States of America.